Hey guys, Ed from Paranormal Link, Ohio here, back at it again with another podcast episode. Tonight's podcast episode is going to be about the Poasttown Elementary School. Yes, the hauntings that goes on there, and a little bit of the backstory of Poasttown, Ohio, and some of the elementary school. So remember, I get all this stuff as I go with my research, whether it be the internet, books, go to a library, whatever. I write it all down and then I tell you guys. So, Poasttown and subsequently Poasttown School have become something of legend in recent years, and with an extensive history to match its many stories and legends, it's a lesser-known haunted town that deserves much more recognition. Let's go ahead and just dive right in. Poasttown is an unincorporated community in the southwestern corner of Ohio, dying to experience the hauntings of Ohio like never before. Located in Madison Township and on State Route 4, the little town has been around for well over a century. Laid out in 1818 by Peter Poast, it was originally named West Liberty. The town was home to 4 generations of the Poast family, and children were intrigued, intuition, alteration, and were known to chant Peter P. Poast was the first postmaster of Poasttown at their jump rope meetings and playground playdates. Even before Ohio was a state, Peter Poast came into the Northwest Territory of the state seeking out land for a farm. He had come down the Ohio River on a boat, bought a team and a wagon, and started up a trail to an area known as the Great Prairie. He eventually ended up in Madison Township and decided to buy land north of Bankers. He knew that clearing the trees and shrubbery would be intense, but he saw the potential in the level and fertile land after buying the land for $400 in gold. He returned and started the slow and grueling process of clearing the land. Within a few years, he had laid a dirt road out to connect to other small settlements, which made it a perfect site for a village. He seized this opportunity for growth and laid out a town which the name West Liberty Poast ran the farm and mills for years. He traded horses, built large copper shops, and even saw the opening of a few general stores on his land. He died in 1847, but not before he fathered 7 children with his wife, Catherine. One of their children, William, carried on his father's copper trade and bore a son which he named after his father, Peter P. Poast III. Poast III lived through the golden era of Poasttown. When he was just 10, his grandfather was appointed in August of 1848 as the postmaster of Poasttown. His salary was $57.20 a year, a grand earning for that time. When another West Liberty was established, he asked that the name of the village be changed, and residents agreed that it should carry the name of its founder, Poast. The village would grow into a town and saw the spoils of fertile farmland and hard work. The town changed exponentially. Over the years, not much information exists about the little Ohio town, which goes to show its true nature, quiet and unassuming. So now we're going to talk about the school. Poasttown built this elementary school in 1937, where it has remained ever since. While no one has died in the school as far as records go, there's 2 main theories as to why the school is so haunted. Could it be a portal to the spirit realm? Perhaps some type of tragedy had taken place nearby in the past. We'll delve into all the theories, and you can decide for yourself. One man, Darrell Wiseman, was a student at the school in 1963. He also never left and actually lives at the school. According to him, some of the other kids never left either. He reports hearing desks moving across the floors, footsteps, and voices. One of Wiseman's construction buddies, man, wow, I choked on my own words there. One of Wiseman's construction buddies even experienced a scare up on the top floor while doing some work on the building. He's big and tough, but even he let out a shriek while doing some construction work on the top floor. He runs down to me. He can't catch his breath, and he's saying, "There's something up there." Wiseman said, "I thought maybe a dog or possum got inside." But then he says, "Dude, it's a ghost." Since he and his wife moved in, more than 100 ghost investigation teams have combed through the school each leaving with their own experiences. Countless skeptics have gone into the school and leave with a new understanding of the word haunted. Some investigators have come and immediately needed to leave, becoming physically ill when they went too deep into the building. The school is usually described as creepy, and visitors tend to not stay very long. Wisman tells of visitors being touched by the entities, and he's had his name called out a few times during his stay there. He states that he's the school's protector and promises to never tear it down or sell the land. The school has some sort of otherworldly hold on him, it seems, as he states often that he plans to die inside of the building. The school even ended up with a motto, "When you leave, you believe." Now we're going to talk about these crazy Poasttown train crashes. An explanation for the immense amount of activity and eerie encounters at the school could be explained by the two train crashes that happened just under a mile away from the property. One happened in 1895 and another in 1910. Both happened on July 4th. The 1910 crash was considered the worst railroad accident in Butler County's history. It involved a head-on collision of a passenger train and a freight train. The horrifying impact killed 24 people and injured at least 35, more according to historical records. Some historians say that the land that later became the Poasttown Elementary School was used as an emergency triage area for the train crash victims. So it's not too far-fetched to assume that at least a few people took their last breath on the land the school was built on. So, I mean, and there's even more and more places in Poasttown that is haunted. That could be a reason why the elementary school is so haunted. These two train crashes alone, and, you know, other things may have happened on there that we have no idea had happened. It all adds up to having some type of stain on that land. And all those people died so horrifically in those train crashes, man. It's just, there's got to be the reason why that there's some type of haunting going on there. And this guy's brave enough to live inside this school, and he even says, you know, hey, we hear things all the time. And he even lets people go through there and do investigations to this day. So I would love to go there and check it out and do an investigation there. I mean, I really would. So I'm going to tell you just another haunting of Poasttown. It is the ghost of Gracie's mansion. Visitors and residents alike have marveled at a beautiful Poasttown landmark, a stunning home that sits above the village of Mount Pleasant, across from a cemetery as old as the town itself. The mansion was built by multi-millionaire Paul J. Surg as a gift to his new daughter-in-law, Gracie. While the mansion is known for its beauty, it's also known for its ghosts. The ghost of Gracie Mansions is said to be the spirit of a young maid who had served the Surg family at the home. One evening, the maid tripped and fell down the narrow staircase at the back of the house, and she was found dead hours later. It is said that her spirit refused to leave the mansion when her physical body was taken away, as she was so enamored with its lavish furnishings and decor and all the shiny brass and gold fixtures. During the day, the ghostly maid hides in the basement, throwing small pebbles at the walls and into the cisterns, where the echo of the falling stone could be heard by those upstairs. During the night, her spirit can be seen peering from behind drapes and blinds in the windows. Since the Surg family only spent summers at the home, during Ohio's brutal winters, passerby reported seeing a ghostly shadow standing in the windows of the home, watching the world turn outside. So, there's some haunted places in Poasttown, and the elementary school is really a big one that I would love to go to and to check out. I'd also like to check out the mansion and everything else there, but that school it really intrigues me, and I'd love to check it out. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's episode. I want to thank you all for the love and support that you give to Paranormal Inc. Ohio. You can subscribe to me now on Spotify. It's $2.99 a month. If you do, awesome. If you don't, awesome. I'm not here to twist your arm and make you do it. But if you would, it helps us get better locations to go investigate, to get some equipment to go investigate, so we can have some live podcasts in the future. So Thank you guys so very much. I love each and every one of you, and you'll hear me in the next one.